So let's go to the phone line. Let's see who we have. All rise, and then after you rise, genuflect is the one and only. It is Sister Akua. How you doing, Queen of Radio? Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome back to your show.
Welcome back to my show.
You've been on assignment, and so we held it down, and we're glad to hear your voice on the air again.
Yeah, well, we're glad that you locked it down, sister. So tell us about this weekend's festivities and about our brother Abiodun, who's coming in here. We're looking forward to that. One of the founding members of the Last Poets. Tell us about this program and what we should anticipate and expect this weekend.
Well, thanks to modern technology, Brother Abiodun is with us on this conversation, and he is actually in Oregon, at a Shakespeare festival. So can you imagine the last poets at a Shakespeare festival in Oregon for a whole week?
What?
I'm telling you.
Man, all the revolutionaries must have went out and hit out in Oregon and Washington. They went out west, huh, Brother Abiodun? How are you doing, my brother?
How y'all doing this morning?
Man, I'm fired up, man. I've been saying your name all morning long. I'm just invoking not only the ancestors, but generations yet unborn, brother, for the contribution that you have made to not only to art, but to our consciousness raising. We thank you. Let me thank you in advance before we go into this interview. And Sister Cool, what is this, the African American conference call? You three-weighing us?
Hey, we've had good practice during Kwanzaa, don't we?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Sure.
Well, you're coming.
Last night I am here in Ashland, Oregon, which is like it's an unbelievable, surreal place. I mean, so clean, pristine. It's quiet. I mean, you got deers walking down the street and bobcats and bears in the park, and I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. And I did see a Shakespearean play last night here. Actually, it was Macbeth, and it was different Macbeth than I ever. Matter of fact, Macbeth was black, and there was and Macduff was also black. It was very different, and it was, of course, when we do things, when we take over even so-called white things, we just give it much more power and more fury, and consequently, it was probably the best production of Macbeth I've ever seen.
Wow.
But we're here. I mean, and the other thing, too, is that I'm discovering that black people are everywhere.
You gonna find us, is that right?
We are everywhere. I'm talking about, I ran into a brother that's been here in Ashland since 1976. I don't know how he's done it, but he's done it, and he still looks cool, like he's walking down Tobacco Road in Chicago.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're looking forward to you being here. We had a little controversy, a little dust up. People were, searching YouTube. I guess they don't know anything about you. They searched YouTube, and they saw some of your adult-only, but not really adult-only. You're more thing that would be for an adult audience, and because this is a family kind of show where it's it's free and all that, they got kind of scared. They sent Akua a little shot over the bow, and I'm sure Akua responded. But tell them, brother, that we're multifaceted, multidimensioned, and we have families too.
Well, first of all, I'm the premier consultant for the Board of Education in the city of New York. There's nowhere in the world I could go into a school and do and do anything that's going to be offensive to the system or to the parents of the kids. And I don't do any offensive things anyway. I'm very sorry that some of our people have interpreted what the Last Poets have done as being so intimidating that they're scared of that. There's a part of me that appreciates that, because I've always been strong, and if I'm not a scary guy. I'm a very nice brother, and I'm a very concerned and conscious brother, and I've always been that way. And if there's one thing I appreciate about myself, is the love that I have for people all over the world. I have a black base, and I come from there, and I can talk to anybody, anywhere, in any form I can create. And the fact is, I look forward very much to coming to Houston. Houston has always been one of the strongest black cities in Texas, if not the strongest. My son lives in Fort Worth, Texas, so I've gotten kind of used to Texas a little bit in the last 10 years. And Houston has been a place that I really would love to come to and perform, because I've heard that we've got fertile ground there. We've got some people there who are thinkers, who are business-minded, who are doing some wonderful things in terms of empowering black folks. And I would love to come and just be an inspiration and a motivation for all that, because that's what I do. I'm very sorry that some people misunderstood or misinterpreted or went on the YouTube. If they went on the YouTube, fine. I mean, we do that in Europe, and whatever they saw, that is something that we do. But if I'm coming there to Houston by myself, and we've got a jazz band hooked up, and I've got a whole lot of stuff that is very family friendly that I'm planning to do. And it still has the punch, but none of the stuff that with any of the N words that will cause people to lose their minds. So I really hope people come out, and I really hope people aren't scared to come see the Last Poets, because we carry a big stick. There's no question, and we walk kind of softly.
Yeah. Oh, and Brother Rob, I just want to say this too, because before. In the literary world here in Houston, there are some people I've got to give credit to, and that's Thomas Melanson, people like Brother Obadike Kamau, Israel McLeod, and Jabari Aziz Jarrah, and some of those earlier poets who held it down all these years. And many of the young people are doing spoken word venues all over the town, all over Houston. But sometimes our history gets lost because it's transported or transferred verbally. And I think eventually we're going to have to start documenting some of these, the evolution of the literary world here in Houston, because many of our writers and poets and thinkers, as Abiodun just said, they've made a tremendous contribution, and we've done so too. And when I think about us being at Miller Theater for 19 years, doing just spoken word, from storytelling to poetry.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, and that was never my plan. Our plan was just to do a little event and move on down the road, but people responded so overwhelmingly, we just continued to do so. So I want to encourage everyone to support our 19th year at Miller, and just to remind people, the event starts at 8 o'clock p.m. I was looking at the flyer, and I didn't see the time on there, but it's 8 o'clock p.m. It's a free event. The workshop, Abiodun requested, I didn't ask, he requested to have some young people in his space so that he can pass on this information and wisdom that he's gained over 40 years. So we're encouraging parents and students and lovers of poetry to come out to the Shrine of the Black Madonna on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock a.m. He's doing a free workshop for the people, for the young people in our community. So where else can you have that in Houston? We're gifted the community.
Well, Akua, that's not to cut you off, but that's a very important element. We've got to pass it on. Like you just said, the history gets lost sometimes, and people like myself and you, people who've been around the block for a couple of times, we really have got to sit and talk with the young people and give them the stories. And they want to know the stories. They want to hear the truth. They want to know what happened and what can possibly happen. I feel very honored and grateful that they have given me a green light into their lives, that they've allowed me to, that I'm considered to be a person they want to come and talk to and come and sit with me and share with me. And I mean, I really feel very blessed and honored. I'm looking forward to the workshop, and because I still got this bundle of energy, and I'm still very revolutionary in every aspect of my existence, I feel like this is necessary. It's very important that we pass the baton on, and it's very important that we give guidelines, because many of our kids have the passion, and many of them even have the ability, but there is no movement. There was a movement when I first started. There was a serious Black Power movement. And so we're talking about the absence of a movement. It's like the circus has come to town, and a lot of people are clowning as opposed to really being serious, but there are quite a number of young folks who have some serious stuff to say, and I would just love to encourage them to say it in a way that they can be proud.
All right, founding member of the Last Poets.
Yeah, I was a kid then, my brother. I was only 19 years old. I didn't know really what I was doing. I really wanted to just be in Harlem. Bad, worse than bad. And when David Nelson said, let's start this group, a collective group of poets, I said, okay, whatever. I was just down. I just wanted to be in Harlem. Harlem was the sole source.
What year was that?
This is 1968. 1968. I had 1 year of college under my belt. And as a matter of fact, I had gone to college in Iowa.